MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Testimony wrapped up in the case of a Butte bondsman and his assistant accused in a fatal shooting in Butte.
I'm Jonathan Amberian in Helena. As the U.S. House passes a bill that could eventually lead to a nationwide ban on TikTok, I'll give you the latest on the legal action over Montana's state-level ban on the app.
Good Thursday morning, Southwest Montana, 6:33 on this Pie Day.
It is.
It's Pie Day that we totally forgot to bring in pie after we talked about it.
Third month, 14th day, and I did tell you I'm going to try to bring a pie, and guess what?
We did not deliver.
I didn't bring it, but maybe tomorrow.
We forgot. Yeah, we'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah, why not?
But hey, it's a nice morning out.
It's beautiful outside. Yeah,
Chilly,
walking the dog a little bit. It was chilly. You definitely need a coat, that's for sure, but I mean, as far as spring days go, we'll take it. Taking a look at your temperatures right now across Southwest Montana, it's about 20s, 30s. However, there are some chilly spots. West Yellowstone in specific, we are going to be dealing with some cold temperatures. So I would recommend maybe a good base layer if you're down in west. Now, putting this all into Futurecast, this is what it's looking like right now. You see some cloud cover throughout the day. Some of those clouds are going to still linger. However, come tomorrow, that radar, it just goes perfectly clear. Wrapping up tonight, though, maybe some isolated snow chances in some of those mountainous communities, but not too much to write anything home about. Putting into the Bondsman day planner, again, get used to those clouds. They are not going anywhere, but you might see a little bit of sunshine come the afternoon. Butte around the noon, 1 o'clock hour, going to be beautiful, bright sunshine, clear skies. Still going to be below freezing though, so always have a jacket with you, but it will be beautiful in the mining city today. We're going to have more of your forecasting coming up in about 10 minutes.
Alrighty, thank you, Jane. Well, it's March Madness. It was a thrilling win for the Montana State men's basketball team last night with the comeback win against the Grizz to make them Big Sky champions. Time to get your dancing shoes ready because the Bobcats are going dancing for the third year in a row. Our Grace Lawrence has your highlights from Boise.
MTN Sports Grace Lawrence here in Boise for the Big Sky Men's Basketball Championship, and the stakes are as high as ever. It's the Brawl of the Wild Part 3. The number 5 seeded Montana State Bobcats are taking on the number 3 seeded Grizz for the first time since 1986 and just the second time ever in a title game. The two guys that are built for this moment, Robert Ford III and Anand Moody. Grizz swept the regular season series. The Cats are looking for some revenge, but it's the Grizz out to a hot start. Moody threading the needle to Lalu Oki, and he hammers this one home. But John Olmsted has been built for the month of March, and it's Eddie Turner III that always finds him. Alley-oop to John Wick. Moody getting the Cats on a little pump fake and take right, puts that one right through the rim, but Ford has been practically unguardable this tournament. Gets his man on the drive, spins around and swooshes it. Brandon Whitney having a first half though for the Grizz, completely open for the lay-in, and Montana has the 38-32 lead at the half. And the Grizz jumps out to an 11-point lead in the second, but the Cats, they start to chip away, and this Tyler Patterson three-pointer gives the lead to the Cats 51-50, and they're not looking back. Ford doing Ford things, putting on a clinic to get that ball through the hoop. Eddie Turner III wants one of his own. The Cats offense becoming overwhelming for the Grizz. Brandon Walker to seal the deal. Cats win 85-70. Montana State three-peats as Big Sky champions. The decade of the Cats continues. They will be going dancing in the NCAA tournament once again. In Boise, Grace Lawrence, MTN Sports.
The man who is accused of killing Megan Stedman outside of the Bozeman Walmart is now back in Bozeman. Christopher Foyles made his initial appearance in Gallatin County Justice Court on Wednesday morning. He was arrested and charged in Idaho Falls back in January. And according to court documents, Stedman's body was found in the RV that she and Foyles shared. Foyles told police that he stabbed her to death. According to prosecutors, new evidence suggests that Megan Stedman was actually killed in Bozeman rather than in Idaho Falls. Deputy County Attorney Shannon Foley told the judge that Foyles poses a risk to the community.
Not only are the underlying facts quite egregious compared to most of the crimes we see here in Gallatin County, in addition to that, some of the allegations include his efforts to not only remove the body from Gallatin County, but also efforts to conceal what he had done.
Foyles was extradited from Idaho to Montana on a $1 million bond, which was left in place in Justice Court on Wednesday. He is now scheduled to appear in District Court on March 29th. And the defense rested its testimony on Wednesday in the trial of a Butte bondsman and his assistant that are accused in a fatal shooting. Our John Amy was in the courtroom to tell us what happens next.
A jury is expected to hear closing arguments in the case involving a Butte bondsman and his assistant accused in a fatal 2021 shooting. After the defense rested its case, Nicholas Jaeger took the stand as the final witness for the defense and claimed he shot William Harris in self-defense after he lunged toward him with some sort of blade in his hand the evening of December 19th, 2021. Jaeger was backing up bondsman Jay Hubber in arresting David Sandoval, who was at Harris's home. As Hubber wrestled with Sandoval, Jaeger testified he grabbed Hubber's handgun after Harris started kicking Hubber. Jaeger shot Harris twice after he claims the victim made a threatening move toward him. Both men face charges of aggravated burglary and deliberate homicide. The jury has the option to find Hubber guilty of the lesser charge of deliberate homicide by accountability. The defense argued Hubber had the right of a bondsman to enter the home and make an arrest. The prosecution and defense will deliver closing arguments to the jury before they go into deliberations. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
Montana was one of the first states that passed legislation restricting the use of TikTok. Our MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has more on where the state's measure continues to stand.
Almost a year ago, the Montana legislature passed a bill that would ban TikTok from operating within the state. It's currently on hold as the state appeals a federal judge's decision. But like the bill making its way through the U.S. House right now, Montana's ban could be void if TikTok is sold. Senate Bill 419 passed during the 2023 legislative session, prohibiting the app from doing business in Montana and app stores from offering it in the state. Supporters said they wanted to address concerns that the app could expose Montanans' data to China. But SB 419 never took effect. TikTok and a group of Montana content creators who use the app sued in federal court, saying the bill violated First Amendment rights and overstepped on the federal government's authority in foreign policy. A district judge put an injunction on the bill in November. Attorney General Austin Knudsen has asked the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn that decision. And in a filing earlier this month, he cited broad bipartisan concern about TikTok's data practices as a justification for the state's actions. Plaintiffs have until April 29th to make their initial court filing in the appeal. TikTok has denied any claims that their users' data is at risk. The bill that passed the U.S. House Wednesday would give the app's parent company 6 months to sell it to someone not based in a foreign adversary country before a ban takes effect. If a sale does happen, SB 419 also includes a provision that would invalidate it. On Wednesday, Governor Greg Gianforte said the federal government was following Montana's lead in taking action against TikTok. Indications are that the federal bill won't pass through the Senate as quickly as the House. On Wednesday, the offices of Senators Steve Daines and John Tester both said that they'll be reviewing the bill as it makes its way into their chamber. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Big Sky's Resort Area District is still trying to purchase a plot of land that could potentially relieve traffic congestion at the intersection of Montana Highway 64 and U.S. Highway 191. Our Krista Merkel has an update on the potential land deal.
At Wednesday's Big Sky Resort Area District Board meeting, the intersection of Montana Highway 64 and U.S. Highway 191 was discussed. BizRad's executive director Daniel Bierschwal updated the community on the 4.5-acre property Resort Tax is interested in purchasing near this intersection. He says negotiations are ongoing with the property owners. If the purchase goes through, Bierschwal says this plot of land could be used for several things.
That area is of critical importance because Big Sky has one way in and one way out. The particular parcel that we're looking at has multiple community needs that can be addressed if we're able to acquire the property. First off, we know that the intersection is one of a multitude of contributors to congestion within the community. One possibility is a roundabout. It's currently a stoplight. Certainly not the only possibility that exists out there. Creating a more meaningful entryway into our community and a welcoming corridor, and that may be a spot for a pump station, which will help to connect the water and sewer district and the canyon to the Big Sky water and sewer district and help to pull all of those septics offline.
Bierschwal says they were hoping to have the buy-sell agreement in hand for this meeting, but since that didn't happen, a special meeting will be held to get approval from the board to present a final buy-sell to the sellers. In Big Sky, Kristen Merkel, MTN News.
All right, time for us to take a quick break. Jane has your forecast coming up.
I'm John Mattery. Some families with insurance coverage through the Affordable Care Act are finding it tougher and tougher to find in-network coverage. I'll explain.